2024, India just became the IPO champion. Nearly 327 companies went public and around $20 billion raised, more than more IPOs than China or USA combined. Record subscriptions, investors flooding in, grey market premiums hitting the roof, companies listing at 100%, 200%, or even 300% listing gains.
Market cap.
There is a lot more to do ahead.
7,000 करोड़ का आईपीओ निकलवा देता हूँ आपका.
India is the dumbest IPO market that ever existed in the history of IPO market.
Are you judging people who invested in us as
On paper, it's a perfect story. Like economic growth, market participation, wealth creation for everyone. It's great. But I will tell you something that nobody is discussing about. About 40% of those IPOs are now trading below the issue price, and billions in retail investors' wealth gone. And it's not just few bad companies, it's a systemic problem. Let's understand the scale of what happened in 2024. India raised around 1.6 lakh crores through main board IPO and the SME segment. Another 8,700 crores from 243 IPOs. Like that's an IPO every single trading day. What drove this frenzy? First, democratization, like zero commission brokers, easy access, and now millions of retail investors are now entering the market. Those who never touched the shares now applying in an IPO like it was a lottery. Number 2, FOMO economics. Your neighbor has doubled his money on some SME IPO. Your colleague got 3x return on his investment on listing day. And social media is filled with the screenshot of the profits that the people are making on the listing day. So you don't want to miss out. Number 3, perfect storm. Post-COVID liquidity and domestic investors having extra cash, strong GDP growth, India becoming the largest IPO market globally. It's not just the headline, it felt like the destiny. Companies saw this gold mine. Private equity firms sitting on an old decade investment finally had their exit window at its peak valuation. And here's some uncomfortable truth. When everyone was making money, no one asked the hard questions, and that's when the problem starts. Now, the next part, the valuation problem. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, overvaluation. In 2024, we saw something remarkable, Hyundai India Motor IPO, which is the largest IPO of this year. Its parent company globally trading at 3.7 times its forward earning, but Indian subsidiary has been listed around 22 times of its earning, like 6 times more expensive. Same company, same business model. How? This wasn't unique. Japanese and European companies, Indian all units commanded at similar premiums. Why? Because the market was willing to pay for it. The SME segment was even worse. Like MVK Agro product listed at 31% discount. Today, down 65% from the issue price. Kalana Ispat 20% discount on listing. Bikevo Green Tech 27% discount. Now down 35% further. Italian Edibles oversubscribed 154 times. Listed at 15% discount. Currently down 51%. These weren't outliners. These are patterns. The math is brutal. Around 40% of 2024 IPOs are trading below the issue price. And here's the thing, these companies were getting massively oversubscribed, like 50 times, 100 times, 150 times. And why? Because retail investors were not just buying the companies, they were buying the lottery tickets. So the next is the grey market trap. There is a parallel market that exists even before the IPO list, and it's called the grey market. And here it how it works. Before the IPO list, people traded promises of shares at a premium if an IPO is priced at 100 rupees, and in grey market it shows 150 rupees. So the 50% is the grey market premium or the GMP. Here it how it works. Before the IPO list, people trades at promises of shares at the premiums, and if the IPO is priced at 100 rupees and in the grey market it is showing 150 rupees, then it's 50% grey market premium or GMP. And I don't know how the retail investors chase their GMPs like their lives are dependent on it. I saw something interesting happening. Like in 2024, the grey market premiums dropped from 28% to just 10.8% in early 2025. The average listing gains crashed from 31% to 11.4%. Like market was sending the signal that the party is slowing down. But by the time the retail investors figured this out, they were already holding the bag of shares that are not worth as much as they thought. The problem with the GMPs is like it has nothing to do with the company fundamentals. Like the company with zero profits can also have a 50% grey market premium. It depends on the hype, and that hype becomes self-fulfilling until the music stops. Do you remember Vincent Engineers? An spectacular example. Listed at 386% gains. Issue price was 75 rupees, opened at 365 rupees. Social media went crazy, but after 6 months, the stock was trading below 20% of the listing price. So that's the reality. And as usual, the early investors cashed out. Retail investors who bought on the listing day, and the investors who also invested for the long term had suffered losses. Next part, the ecosystem problem. Here's what most of the people don't understand, that the IPO is rigged, not illegally, but structurally. Let me break down for you who wins the IPO boom. First one, merchant bankers. In 2024, merchant bankers earned around 290 million, which is the second largest after 2021. They get paid according to the size of the IPO, not whether the company succeeds. Their job is to get the right deal and move on. Second one, private equity firms and VC firms. They have been sitting on investments around 3 years, 7 years, 10 years, and an overheated IPO market is their dream exit. They sell their stake through OFS, that is offer for sale, and when the offer for sale dominates in an IPO market, it means that the promoters are cashing out and they are not reinvesting, which is a red flag for any kind of investors. Third one, promoters. Why sell at fair price when you can create an hype in social media or anywhere, and you can sell at 3x? After the lock-in period, they can dump the shares, and as usual, the retail investors absorb the selling pressures. Fourth one, and I think one of the most important one, media and influencers. Every IPO becomes a must-apply IPO for them, and grey market premiums make the headlines. FOMO drives more participation, and the hype machine keeps churning the IPO market. Notice who's missing? That retail investors. So everyone is following them ki bhed le jaldi se. History shows that aggressive fundraising often proceeds to major market declines, which can be seen similar patterns in 2008, 11 and 18. The cycle is predictable, like market heats up, company rush to an IPO, quality deteriorates, retail investors get burned, and market corrects. we are watching this play out in real time. Next part, the quality crisis. So I have this thing. In 2024, around 243 SME IPOs launched, a 36% increase from 2023, with more than one issue every trading session. But quantity does not mean quality, right? While 166 SME IPOs have given the listing gains, but around 70 disappointed investors, which is a concerning trend. So next part, warning signs and conclusion. What do you need to do as an investors? So here are some of the warning signs that we will be discussing. First one, excessive OFS. If promoters are selling large stake, ask yourself why. They know the business better than you, right? Second one, zero profitability with no clear path. If company cannot explain how will they make money, then walk away. Third one, grey market premium hype. If the grey market premium is 50%, 100%, that's not real, right? It's clearly a speculation and not a valuation. So don't chase it. And the last one, I think the over subscription madness, like 100x, 200x. If the company get oversubscribed, so it doesn't mean that you should also subscribe. So get a clear advice from your financial advisor or do a complete research, then go for it. जस्ट ऐसे मत जाओ कि फोमो हो रहा है तो जाओ, मतलब ऐसा अप्लाई कर दिया बस, वैसा नहीं. द इंडियन मार्केट isn't going anywhere. IPO आते रहेंगे एंड 80+ IPOs अभी पाइपलाइन में है एट द एंड ऑफ फाइनेंशियल ईयर, जो कुछ महीने में हो जाएगा. सो डोंट वरी, है ना, वेट कीजिए. एंड दे आर लुकिंग फॉर द बेटर मोमेंटम, है ना. सो सिंपली बाय द नेचर ऑफ ग्रोथ, है ना, देखते हैं कि क्या होता है आगे, कि इट इज़ सस्टेनेबल और अ बबल इज़ क्रिएटेड, जो अपने को समझ में आ रहा है. देखते हैं क्या होता है. सो हियर इज़ माई एडवाइस, डू नॉट ट्रीट the IPO like the lottery tickets. They are not. Read the prospectus, understand the business, check the financials, go for the corporate valuations, and then invest. Invest in companies that you would happily be invested for the next 5 years if you couldn't sell tomorrow. And remember, the real winners in an IPO boom aren't just who applies in every issue. They are the one who knows when to set out. So that's the end. Indian IPO will keep growing and the number of disasters will also increase. So the question is, are you ready? So thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Until then, bye.